All righty. Once again, my name is Ken Burke. I'm from Trinity, Florida, and welcome to this presentation on this amazing X39 stem cell reactivation patch that literally is growing like wildfire around the world in 80 countries currently and is changing lives. And so do thank the person. If this is your first time taking a look at this amazing opportunity, please do thank the person who invited you, because this really is a patch of hope, and it's about love and caring for people and bringing them hope that nothing else currently in the world can do like this can. And you're going to see why that is. And so let me go ahead and just adjust my view here and pin my screen. So you're going to find yourself being one of three people tonight. You're either going to like what you see, but say, Ken, I still want to do more research. Hey, we totally get that. And we can help point you in the right direction there. Or Ken, I like what I see. I'm going to get some patches for me and my family. Sure, we can show you how to do that. Or Ken, I'm a number, and that's a number two. Or Ken, I'm a number one. I like what I see. And I would definitely want to get some patches on me and for my family. And I want to hit the go button on this rewarding program that's offered for those who share it financially, not sell it. Big difference. I'm a gifted salesman, and but that is not why we're succeeding in this business. I can't make your stem cells reactivate. And so, listen, we're here to help you. Should you decide to team up with us on getting the word out because you've seen what we see, we're going to help you learn how to really contact and invite and share this path with other people. Who wants to learn how to sell more? None of us do. So we don't need that. So it's amazing. So let me go ahead. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to have a friend of mine also. Her name is Dr. Jen Sullivan. She is going to, I've got a recording for her. She is a doctor who now requires all her patients to wear this patch. And, but she also had an amazing testimony herself on the patch, and she documented over 12 months. And it's pretty spectacular. So I'm going to I'm going to play a recording of Dr. Jen. It's going to be about 8-9 minutes long. And then I'm going to come in the heels of that. And then I'll finish the rest of the presentation for everybody tonight. And then you'll get back with the person who invited you and regarding whatever decision you'd like to make, and we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's pull up Dr. Jen O'Sullivan. Bear with me one second here. There we go. And let me go back here. Okay. Bear with me, people. Right. So let's see if I can bring this up a little bigger. She just jumps right into it. And let me lock this piece out here. My screen down here. All righty. I'm still learning Zoom, but it's working. Here we go, everybody. This is awesome.
This is a little bit about what has happened to me. So within just 24 hours, I had zero inflammation. 2 weeks in, I realized I wasn't using any of my hormone supplements anymore. This amounted to $398 before tax and shipping of supplements that I no longer needed. I still take multivitamins, stuff like that, but the stuff I was taking for my hormones and my inflammation, I no longer needed. This was huge. Not only for my pocketbook, but for my body. At 6 weeks, I noticed that my nails were growing like crazy. They were noticeably stronger and healthier. At 3 months, I remember, I'm 51 today. This is my birthday today. And I noticed my skin just looked better. My décolletage cleared up. I wasn't so wrinkly anymore. It was really interesting. 4 months, I had this broken rib that I broke twice. I'm a mountain biker, and the twice broken rib, same rib, caused a lot of nerve damage. And I noticed at about 4 months that it was healing, which was wild. And it's after 2 years now. I've been using this product for 2 years. It's completely healed. Like, I don't have any nerve damage there anymore. It used to be like when I'd go in for a massage, I'd say, can you just be careful right there? It hurts. So it was just like nerves, like some funky stuff going on back there. But anyhow, 9 months in, I realized my gluten allergy had healed. Many of you know my story from the past decade that I'm pretty aggressive celiac, and I don't have any allergy to gluten anymore, which doesn't mean I'm eating gluten. But if I do eat gluten, if I decide to, which I don't, but I have done this multiple times, like Krispy Kreme donut style, you know what I'm talking about? You just want to have one. No reaction, just wild. And that's an interesting thing about this, is it can help restore your gut and your actual digestive tract. 10 months in, I went to the dentist and they said, yeah, the gums that they were all concerned about in the lower quadrant here, completely not having no receding gums anymore, which is wild. And then 11 months in, again, I didn't know when this changed, but I found that my astigmatism was completely reversed. I want you to understand something about this, though, is that you can't fake an astigmatism. And an astigmatism when you're an athlete, and what I do is I do downhill athletics. I do extreme sports. I'm a downhill mountain biker. I'm also a downhill snowboarder, and we go fast, like 50 miles an hour on a snowboard. Is you know, it's aggressive. And part of that to understand is when you have an astigmatism, it actually causes a real weird vibration within your eyeballs. So it's hard to see stuff. So I learned how to just like let my body suck up the, you know, vibrations and just trust that I'm not gonna like endo. This is why I broke a rib twice, because I endoed twice at completely different times, but because I can't see when we're going that fast and with that much vibrations, my eyeballs literally jiggle in the skull. So in their sockets, which can create some problems. It's phenomenal now, because when I'm riding my bike or riding my snowboard, like just this last week where we were in Mammoth, I can see everything. It's the best feeling ever. So I just wanted you to know that's a big deal. And also my hair. So I was one of the people that lost a bunch of hair when COVID happened. And what's great about it is my hair, like, health has come back. And I love that, because you know, one thing I've always like kind of paid attention to is having good hair. So that was a hard thing for me, just because I was like, okay, now I have like spindly hair, and it was like real weird. But I love that after 2 years, I now have my hair back. So that's a good thing too, ladies, right? So that's my story. And I just want you to know that this is for educational purposes only. I shared my story. That wasn't to tell you that that's going to happen to you, or that, you know, everyone's different. Everyone responds differently. You know, this presentation hasn't been evaluated by anybody. This is just me sharing how this whole thing works. So I just want to share with you the aging process, and to understand that as we age, our stem cells, those are the things that heal us and that help regenerate us. They actually mutate and go dormant. And this is what causes all sorts of, you know, issues. When you're 20, you have 1 billion healthy stem cells that are going to work. That's why you feel amazing. 30, they declined by 60%. I'm 51 today, they declined by 75%. And you think of 60, 90%, by the time you're in your 80s, you have hardly any left. And the problem is, that's why when somebody like breaks a hip, when they're older, they're done for. They really never heal. And that's a problem. And, you know, even when I was in my 30s, I remember thinking, man, I'm starting to feel age. And then 40 and 50. And, you know, now, you know, when I started this 2 years ago, I'm now feeling like like I said, my vision is back to like when I was in my 20s. My energy levels, my stamina, my strength, so many different things. So I'm going to share with you how this works. So I want you to understand that these patches, though, are non-invasive. They're non-transdermal. That means if you put them on, there's nothing going into your body except your own infrared light. They're actually made out of amino acids and salts embedded into a polyester disc that is fully encased in medical grade plastic. So nothing is actually going into your body. So like the nicotine patch, that's not this. There's nothing going into your body. Okay. So people say, well, then how does this work? Well, let's get into that in just a minute. This is a patented product. This is also a proven product, studied, and this is how it works. Using infrared light therapy. Now, many of you know what infrared light therapy is. You know that it works. There's 400 studies on it, 200 from Harvard Medical School, understanding that phototherapy works. Infrared light therapy is very effective treatment for many things. We are made out of infrared light, right? So just knowing that we are made out of infrared light. So when you put a patch on, it's like basically your infrared light hits the patch. And I love what Peggy said this week. She talked about them being like little tiny mirrors. And those little tiny mirrors are the little amino acid crystals that are embedded in very perfect and precise areas so that the actual wavelengths that are reflected back onto your skin is a specific pattern at a specific frequency, and it signals your body to pull together glycine, histidine, lysine, and copper to create GHKCU. Okay, so this is kind of like how the sun hits your skin and it triggers your skin to create vitamin D. This is what GHKC does. So if you're trying to understand, okay, well, great, I've never heard of GHKCU. What does that matter? Okay, this is what it benefits. When you increase GHKCU copper peptide, this is going to help support healthy stem cell regeneration. That's what it does. It's going to help you do all sorts of things like have better strength, stamina, performance, recovery, movement, mobility. Like it heals things you wouldn't even know. And then you see 12 months from now, oh, wow, this had done stuff for me. So, you know, look at this brain balance study. This woman came in session 1 with a very hot, unbalanced brain. 3 weeks later, she had a pretty calm brain. And 3 weeks later from there, so it's a total of 6 weeks, she was perfectly balanced. This is an example of how this patch will benefit you. You're going to apply one X39 behind your neck, in like in the photo here, or below your navel. You're going to apply it to clean, dry skin in the morning. You're going to wear this patch for up to 12 hours before you discard it, and then you're going to repeat the next day with a new patch. I want you to be clear, though, you must drink plenty of clean, pure water. Remember, the patches will go to work where needed most, so maybe you want your hair to grow back, but it might need to work on some internal health issue like a heart issue. You'd much rather it help there first. It's going to help where most critical first and then move on. So that's how stem cells work. I want you, though, to commit to 6 to 12 months. When people join with me, I really say you need to commit to 12 months. Most people have some sort of chronic issue that they're dealing with. If that's you, you need to have at least 12 months on this product. I'm continuing to use this. I will continue to use this because I want my stem cells to stay like when I was in my 20s. Okay. I want this to be, let me just share something with you. I want to be able to, my son's only 17. I'm 51, so I'm a little bit older mom. I want to be able to dance at his wedding. I want to be able to be the best grandma I can ever be when he has kids. I want to be able to run around with him at the park and get on the floor and roll around and do whatever. I want to be able to go on family vacations where I'm not so slow that everybody has to wait for grandma. You know what I mean? I want to be active and healthy and vibrant, and I want my brain to be healthy and active and vibrant. Okay, so this is a really important thing to understand. This is like if somebody tells you drink water, you guys should all be drinking water, and you go off of, say, Dr. Pepper, and you're no longer drinking Dr. Pepper, and you're like, I feel great. Can I go back to drinking Dr. Pepper now because I feel good? No, that's like really stupid, right? Like you're a heroin addict, you get off all the heroin and you feel amazing and you're like, can I just go back? That's our addictions talking. So sometimes we just want to go back to the medications. I don't know what that is, but don't do it. Okay? What happens as your body heals is your body's going to not need the things that you were using, all the crutches and this, you know, pharmaceuticals and things, because your body's going to start to heal. This is key. Your body's the miracle. Remember, nothing's going into your body. It's just everything starts to just work better. Okay, so this is important to note. As far as getting started, I want you to contact the person who shared this with you. Come in at premium if you can. It's the best deal. If not, come in advance. That's going to actually help get you a little bit more so you can start working on it a little bit better. Core is just if you want to get your toes wet, but all 3 of these have a 30-day money back guarantee.
Okay, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
And I thought everybody was a good lip readers, but that's okay. I'm on mute, but so thank you for that. Yeah. Hey, you know what? My wife and I, we have 10 grandbabies, right? And so I like the fact that I can get on the ground with them and roll around with them. I'll be 60 in May. I like the fact that I can get on an airplane and put my legs over my head and not have to worry about my shoulders hurting, and yeah, quality of life is spectacular. And well, let's do this. Let me go ahead and I'm going to quickly share my story as well. And so a dear friend of ours, Joyce Johnson, back a little over 2 years ago, she had been in an auto accident, rear-ended twice, and had to have four titanium discs put in her neck back in 2019. After that, she had throat swallowing issues and weird pain issues, and it was hard, long recovery. I remember my wife would drive her. Joyce, we love her dearly, and her husband are awesome. They're retired IRS agents, CPAs, but just great people. We knew them for years because their daughter went to school with our kids. We have five grown children now, four married, all out the door, 10 grandbabies. Our children this year are 32 to 23. But Joyce called us just back in August of 2022 and said, "Hey, I've come across this little patch and my life has changed." So, what do you mean, Joyce? I said, "I'm no longer in pain and my throat swallowing issues are gone. My sister, who needs bone on bone knee surgery and extreme migraines from the pain and everything, her pain is gone too, and her migraines are gone." And I said, "Well, hey, send me some information on this little patch." And I took a look at it and I said, "This is fascinating." And I'm already in good shape. I do intermittent fasting, I do CrossFit, and so I'm in good shape. And so I didn't really have any ailments for me. I was thinking about it, I said, well, this could be good just for preventative maintenance purposes, not knowing much about it at the time. But once I saw what this was, I'm like, okay, I'm buying the biggest batch of this stuff I can get, and I'm going to mail it out to all my family and friends and have them tell me what happens. Because I said, hey guys, this is safe. There's no contraindication on any kind of medications. It's light therapy, so it doesn't matter if you're on metformin or some synthroid medication for your thyroid or whatever you got going on. Doesn't matter. You can slap the patch on. There's no it's safe. You're going to find out here shortly. The Navy SEALs wear this technology. This is good for Olympians to wear this during the Olympics. So it's pretty amazing. And so it's safe for little grandbabies to great grandmothers, all points in between. And so I said, just throw it on. And we began to get some testimonies back. My daughter, who had given birth to little Kendall May 8 months earlier, since then, she had postpartum issues, hair loss, brain fog, all kinds of weird things. And the first day after we're in the past, she calls us and said, "Dad, you're not going to believe this. I just cleaned all the drawers out in the girls' room, and I cleaned their closet out too, making room for Kendall May, and my brain fog is gone." I'm like, "Wow, Bree, that's awesome, because I've been wearing the past for a week. I don't really feel anything yet. And you in one day, you got it," right? And then her husband calls me. He's just a go-getter. He's rising up through the ranks in the Coast Guard, and he'll be retired at the age of 38, and he's only 32. And he said, "Hey, Mr. Burke," he called me at 9 o'clock at night. I taught 8 hours of the Coast Guard, and I was focused. Usually, I have to get back on my phone. And then I went and I mowed 4 yards on my riding mower, and I didn't have my hip pain, joint pain, back pain. Usually I'd have when I got off. And then I sat down with the girls and had dinner at 7:30 with them, and I was engaged. I didn't feel like getting back up to watch the TV. And I thought, oh, what a blessing, and we began to get other miracles. And eventually my wife, she was having 10 to 20 hot flashes a day while wearing the patch, right? 10 to 20 a day. But day 21 was September 9th. It was a Monday. It was a holiday. And remember, the day before, she said, "Hey, I only had 2 hot flashes that night." And she would have a bunch of them at night. And they went down to like a dull roar. And she got her confidence back because she had this, I guess they call it menopausal anxiety. And it was tough because we owned an 18-man advertising company, and I was under a lot of stress with the company because I couldn't find good sales reps. So I was always back on the street selling ads and making sure we got paid. We had 3 magazines, 180 local businesses advertising with us. And I needed her to come with me to networking functions so we could set up more appointments to go sell more ads. And she said, "No, I'm going back to the hotel. I'm sweating. I don't feel like myself. And I can't drink hot coffee," and it was just a weird time with this menopausal anxiety. Well, that all stopped, and she got her confidence back, and it was really awesome. And then my dad, he was at the time 85 years old, 280 pounds, 1 kidney, 12 medications he was on. And then during COVID, somehow his breathing just went south. And the doctor said, "Oh, George, your lungs are scarred." And I was managing him in an independent living facility. Now I was thinking I got to put him in assisted living because his whole quality of life went down the tubes because he could barely breathe during the day, no energy, walked around like this, never was like that before. Could maybe walk 20 feet with this walker, and that was it. And I said, "Dad, you got to put this patch on, maybe help your legs," because I had a friend of mine in 1 week help clear her neuropathy, maybe help yours. And so he puts the patch on. 1 week later, I don't feel nothing. Ken, 3 weeks later, I don't feel anything. I said, "Dad, keep the patch on." 5 weeks later, he calls me, "Hey, Ken, yeah, Dad, I can breathe again. Buy me a plane ticket to go see Brittany in Louisiana." He's in Tampa. I'm like, "What? I'm not buying you anything. You can't even walk 20 feet with your walker." So I thought something was going wrong with him. 6 weeks later, he's in an Uber to Tampa National Airport. Think about that. He flies out to go see Brittany and the great grandbaby, spends a week out with them. His lungs healed. That blew my mind. And we began to see other wonderful miracles, and we got very excited about this patch. So let me just share just a little more details on this, and I'll share another one real quick. So we have 10 grandbabies, and one of them was on the spectrum, level 3 autism. If you know anything about that, that's the worst. Nonverbal, non-focus. As a granddad, one of the greatest joys of my life is when I'm in the home and one of the grandbabies are at our home, and I come around the corner and they catch me from 20, 30 feet away, and they look at me and they smile and light up. I mean, there's nothing more priceless than that. But then when you have another grandbaby who doesn't even recognize you, doesn't engage with their siblings, cousins, and doesn't engage with a toy, it's heartbreaking, for my son and his daughter, and just for her. And well, February 10th, my son called me and said, "Dad, listen, Liliana's been crying for 4 days straight, even in her sleep." And I said, "In her sleep?" And that broke my heart. Because I never had our kids cry in their sleep. And I said, "Well, here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to pray in Jesus' name that God bless her, because this has got to stop. Secondly, you're going to put that patch on her." And at that time, this is February 10th of just last year, 2024, we really hadn't thought about getting the patch on young children. But I had another fellow brand partner in this opportunity in his mid-70s who had had a miracle on the patch, and he had a phlebotomy every month for 30 years because if his blood would develop a leukemia type of situation with the white platelets, and he could die. Well, on the patch, all that cleared. And his granddaughter had been born with the brain was separated down the middle. I've never heard of such a thing, but apparently she could still function, but not fully, and like cognitively kind of. But she also had lesions on her brain, these black lesions, and the doctors told the parents, "Hey, you're gonna have to probably give her this medication. It's the only thing we know what to do, but it's probably gonna cause her to go blind." And so when the parents told my friend, the granddad, about this, he said, "No, put this patch. Let's put the patch on our little granddaughter and your daughter." And they did. And within short order of time, that lesion in the brain went away, and then her cognitive capabilities got really good. And I remember him showing me a video of her counting to 20, saying her ABCs, running around, like got her life back. And so when I heard that, I told my son, "Put the patch on Liliana. Just put on her back. This thing can work up to 6 inches off the body," because as you heard, doctor, we all emit infrared light. Light emanates from our DNA. When you're in a dark room, pitch black, and you put some infrared goggles on, people are going to light up. Well, this is light therapy. That light is bouncing off this patch. And the brain sends a signal, and boom, starts reactivating your dormant stem cells. And so I said, "Let's get this on her." And within 5 minutes, they said she stopped crying. And she started walking around. The next day, she's at her therapist, and the therapist says, "What's with Liliana? Why is she not, how is she focused?" And that was the beginning of what was going this way, started going this way, and she became verbal, said "mom" for the first time. Now here we are 10 months later or so, and she recognized me. She smiles, and anytime we get this patch on a child who's on the spectrum, the first thing the parents will tell us is, "Oh my gosh, my child's now more focused. And more mentally calmed down." I call this thing a happy patch, okay? Because it's amazing because clinically, and inside that patent, there was 80 clinical trials done. And let me just share a quick little history about this patch, because I could sit here for the next hour and unpack miracle after miracle. A friend of mine had a frozen shoulder, 15 months, couldn't go on a daddy-daughter date time with his daughter because for 15 months, his daughter had a golf scholarship. And that's when they spent time in the course. but he couldn't for 15 months because his wife had to help him put his shirt on, and 5 days later in the past, boom, he's on the golf course, right? And for me, the stress I had running my advertising company for 10 years went from 85%, if you will, down to 15%, never came back. And I got this thing called living in the present. I had no idea what that was about, living in the present, because I was so spun up trying to live for next week and next month and jamming all that into today to make sure we had a next month to pay payroll with. And what a blessing that I got my life back that I didn't know I was missing. So now I get to be present in my shoes when I'm with my grandchildren, when I'm with you here. I'm not thinking about 20 other things right now, and what I got to get done tomorrow. I'm actually here and had no idea that this thing could do that. And so let me just give a quick little rundown, just a quick history of this. And then I'm going to share with you a little bit about, the more the pricing that you saw and the simplicity, the sheer simplicity of sharing this with people you love and care about, and how the company wants to reward you financially because they don't pay Google and social media. This is an affiliate program where they take common people like me and you who care about the people they love in their life, and they believe that this patch is a patch of hope that can help them, their best friend, a parent, their neighbor. And you get 4 people on this thing. It starts an opportunity that can be very financially rewarding because they're going to take that all 60% of this company's revenue and share it back with me and you, and which has just been a blessing, particularly with inflation. And but let me just back up here for 1 minute. I'm going to screen share here, this presentation. Hold on here. Here is this. Okay. And also let me make sure I've got everybody muted here. Okay. All right. And bear with me. Back here. Screen share. One day I'll get good at this. Okay, I think we're almost there.
Kenneth, Tab, did you record this? I can't remember. I had to jump on late. I was having issues with my phone, so I don't know if you wanted to start recording or if you didn't.
Yeah, it is. I'm screen sharing. Let me see. Did I not? I think I did start recording at the beginning. So,
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt.
Great question. Thank you, Tab. I think next time I'll have you join me so you can help me run this a little more quickly.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
yeah, we'll do that next time. So thanks, everybody. We'll cut this out of the recording and go right to this. So bear with us. Here we go. All right, so let me bring this back up here. Current slide. Okay, so let me run down through here. Okay, here's David Schmidt. Now, this is a man we all pray for. We want to just give him a big hug because our lives have changed thanks to him. Now, David's a unique individual as a scientist because he has a strong faith in God and he's not afraid to share it, he's a quiet guy, but brilliant. He's like an Elon Musk of health, if you will. And he's got over 130 patents. Well, 20 years ago, he started with the Navy SEALs. They hired him to figure out a way to keep the Navy SEALs awake underneath the water for 18 to 36 hours in these specialized submarines. Without having to give them amphetamines. And God gave him a concept of how to figure out to create this kind of patch technology, light patch technology, and he created a 2-patch system. And it worked. Using the light in the body, it levers the fat cells in the body, and so to give them energy. And it worked so well that the Berkeley swim team found out about this, and then Michael Phelps found out about this, and he wore it during the Olympics back in the day. And then since then, to this day, you'll still see athletes wearing these 2 patches and energy patch system. Then David started creating other patches. And then as he turned his attention to stem cells back in 2008, and over 10 years, 80 clinical trials and studies, figured this thing out, got all that approved and patented inside the patent that you saw earlier. And the company at the time was doing about 20 million a year. And this would have been in 2020 during COVID with all these other patches. So for 15 years, the company got to about 20 million with these other patches. Then this patch gets released in 2020 during COVID, and the company shoots like a rocket because the results we were talking about obviously are going to compel people to share with their family and friends, and that's going to spread. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising. So, and that did spread. And where to this day now, this company will this year, they'll go from 20 million, they hit over 600 million last year, and they will hit $1 billion in revenue, primarily from almost 90% of it coming from this one patch. And so it's just the most awesome thing. Here, once again, this patent, but inside the patent, it's really cool. It says here the things that it does inside the patent. Let me see if I can grab this, you guys. Sorry about that. It's a new computer I'm using here. It says, hey, it's going to elevate this peptide, and this is inside the patent, and including the activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduce inflammation, manage pain, improve stamina, elevate collagen production, improve wound healing, just to name a few. And that's all inside the patent. So it's pretty awesome. All right, so let's look at this next screen here. And so here we go. She told you the story, right? By the time you're 30, told how it worked, all the things it does. Saw this too, you know. And so, and another thing also is that, you know, the brain once again becomes balanced in 6 weeks. And that's what happened for me clinically. So, you know, people with PTSD, get them on the patch. People going through discouragement, from teenagers to those going through divorce and just or whatever, get them on the patch. I call it a happy patch. So let me see one more thing here. And once again, you wear the patch 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and throw it away. It was tested in 2 different places on the body, and drink plenty of water, as the doctor said. And bear with me 1 second. I've got someone at the front door here. I got no one else at the house, and so let me just Sue's at the front door, and I'll be right back. And so appreciate your patience on this. Just bear with me 1 second here. And sorry about that, everybody. Using Walmart deliveries, they leave everything there. My wife apparently ordered some, and she's not here right now. So, all right, here we go. And so let's move forward on the pricing of the pricing of the patches. We're going to come back to that, and also talk about the simplicity of the opportunity. So, once again, with this opportunity, you can simply buy patches and just try them out, right? And I'm going to show you that. You don't have to share or sell anything. So it makes it awesome. But should you decide to get excited and begin to, and that's typically what happens, people begin wearing the patch. It's just like seeing a great movie that you're like, oh my gosh, or go eat at a new restaurant. You can't believe how good it is. And the next day you go back to the office and tell everybody about the restaurant, or you tell everybody about the, about the movie. You put a patch on, your life changes. The first thing you want to do is grab the people you love and care about the most and tell them. And this company understands that, and they say, well, let's reward people for doing that. And I'm going to show you the simplistic way they do it, and how doing that for us, how that really changed our whole financial life, which we didn't know was even going to happen. So let's take a look at this here. When it comes to prosperity and succeeding in business, and I'm a businessman, doing something that's simple that the next person can do is everything on how you accelerate getting the word out on something. And so when you and I get excited, and if we begin to share this patch with people, and they're going to say, hey, you know, Ken or so-and-so, can you please tell me more about the patch? Well, the beautiful thing is we have a link here. It's called thisisitinfo.com. That gets the burden off you and me having to explain or try to sell, and talk all about this. It leaves us free to just simply share our experience and why we're excited and would they like to take a look. And we send them this link here. Thisisitinfo.com. Nothing to purchase. It's where the 80 clinical trials are on. There's great videos, 2-3 minute videos in the very beginning, explain what the patch is, how the founder created it. There's testimonials on there. There's other doctors chiming in on here. So it's just the most beautiful thing as a gift to all of us when sharing this opportunity to get the burden of us from having to try to, like I said, sell it or share it. And we can then refer our friends to here. I showed you about the growth before, and what was really interesting is that Steve and Gina Merritt, we gotta love this couple. They're on the left here, they're in the black and white, and next to them, to the far left, is David Schmidt, the founder, and then between them is Meredith Burke. She is the president of the company. She's run billion-dollar companies before, and this company's getting ready to hit $1 billion. Well, Steve and Gina Merritt came aboard just less than 30 months ago, and in 23 days, they hit the highest rank, distributor rank in the business that usually took 4 years to do. They did in 23 days. And they implemented a system for all of us to follow, and it began to take off. And within 6, 7, 8 months, they had their first team meeting, their own team. Like there's teams all around the world. We share this underneath the umbrella of LifeWave, their own team meeting, and 1,700 of us showed up for that thing for 2 days in the sweltering heat. And the CEO and the founder of the company were absolutely amazed at how fast this team was growing. They came down to the first event. And then since then, our team has now become the fastest growing team in the history of LifeWave. We now have almost 300,000 people in less than 30 months on this team, and we expect to hit 1 million people by year end 2025. Our team now constitutes half of all the sales of this patch worldwide. And once again, the patch of the sales currently represents about 86, almost 90% of all the sales. So our team is crushing it. And why is that? Because we have a simple process. It's really one patch. We don't talk about the other patches. Matter of fact, Japan was leading the way in global sales for this company prior to This Is a Team. And by the way, the name of Steve and Gina Merritt's team is called This Is It. This Is It Team. And so we have thisisateam.com, This Is a Team Facebook, This Is a Team YouTube, and This Is a Team School. It's an app platform. And so once that team got going, Japan was leading the way, but like other teams, they all talk about all the other patches and this. We said, no, we're only going to lead and talk about this because there isn't anything like this on the planet. And the simplicity of talking about one patch makes it easy to share with somebody, and then it makes it easier for them to do the same thing too. And it's one patch, 4 people. I'm going to show you this. Once you get this patch on 4 people, and we replicate that play, this gives you the ability to really prosper. And most people in their life who are not salespeople, they have a dozen, 20 people in their life that trust them, that love and care about them. And so they're not on social media. They're usually going to talk to them on the phone. So they're going to pick up the phone, mom, best friend, hey, neighbor, you got to take a look at this patch with me. And you got to get on this thing with me. And by the way, the doc here, she mentioned how it's important to wear this patch, for at least 6 to 12 months. That's her advice. She tells all her clients. We'll say the same thing. But here's the statistic. 97% of those who wear this patch worldwide see results in 90 days. Now, many of my friends within days to weeks, and there's a 30-day back money guarantee on this. I tell people, don't even waste your time with that. I tell my friends, listen, if you're going to wear this, do it right. It's 1 month for every 10 years of life. This is not an aspirin. This is stem cell reactivation. How long did it take you to get to where you're at? Okay. So, but it's absolutely amazing that as soon as you put this on you, it is going to work immediately and clinically. And so, and you may not feel something. My dad wanted his purple legs basically to come clear in a week. Like my other friend, he didn't feel anything for 5 weeks and then woke up and all of a sudden he could breathe. And well, apparently, and then later on, his neuropathy got better and then his sleep got really good. And by the way, most of us on this patch, we love it because we are sleeping way better than we ever have. It's crazy. Your dreams are going to get really vivid. And not to mention how your hair is going to grow out thicker, faster. You're going to become less wrinkled. My wife has less wrinkles here. It's just amazing. So, but getting back here to what I was saying, about wearing the patch, at a minimum, you want to give it a minimum of 90 days. And I'm going to show you here, if you can afford about $3 a day, you're going to be in good shape. But why would you want to even pay that when if you share it, you're going to have money coming back to you that pays for your patches and then some. And so because you care enough about and had 4 great conversations with 4 people you love and care about, and you helped share this with them, and they made a purchase to get on patches too. So let's take a look further at that in a second. Now, I will say this here. When you see this screen I'm showing you here, is there one word on here that stands off the most to you that you say, Ken, I wish I could have either less debt or be debt free, or of course, I want better health. We've got that. But do you like to travel? For me, it was freedom. When Joyce called me up, she didn't know that prior to COVID, I was going to sell my advertising company, and we could have probably sold it and retired. Then COVID hit, changed the landscape worldwide of the advertising industry. And I came out the other side with a company that wasn't worth anything as much as it was prior to COVID. And now I was under stress thinking, I'm going to have to recreate this company and try to see if we can build it up again. And I don't know if I have it in me. So when she told me about the patch, she also told me about Steve and Gina Merritt hitting the highest rank in this business, basically making about 25 grand a week in 23 days. And that got my attention as a business owner. I'm like, hold on, what's the chance that I might be able to get access to some of that? And I didn't have time for a side hustle, but I believe this patch could work. And I knew I could share it throughout the day with people and point them to Zooms at night to take a look at. And if they got interested in made a purchase, I'd get a piece of that. And I said, good, that honors my time. I can still work 50, 60, 70 hours a week running my advertising company, but I can share this patch in the meantime, and let's see what happens. And well, some great things happen. And because talking about travel, within 90 days, we were making about 1,000 a week with this opportunity, just sharing it, and people starting to take off and wear it and share it, and we get a piece of all of what is happening there. And I remember we went on a cruise. My wife and I went on a cruise that I paid for at the time for 2 weeks. We went to Hawaii, 5 islands, and then down to 4 days down to Bora Bora. It was spectacular. Well, we were away from everybody. I mean, 4 days on a ship in the middle of nowhere going across the equator. Well, guess what? We came back $2,500 richer. And I told my wife, that was crazy. I did not put my foot on the gas to make this money, but yet we got paid money because as word of mouth is spreading, we're going to piece of all that. I said, we're going to make sure our 5 children start sharing this patch, because inflation at the time was crushing life. And now in Florida, you could have bought a 322 home as a starter home for about 250 grand. That same house today is like $500,000. Same windows, same doors, same everything. Just inflation has just blown this thing up. Now my kids are in a different position to have to buy a home, save for retirement, or, college education. And I said, listen, we have a gift here, guys. Wear the patch. You're going to sleep better, feel better. You're going to be better for each other in your marriage. You're going to be less stress, manage the kids better. Share this, and the company's going to help reward you for doing it too. Let's go. Let's go help some people. Let's go help get some access to funds for ourselves too. And so it was pretty awesome. And I'll say one thing here. This company, if you like to travel, they did 4 trips last year, Bora Bora. They took 550 of us and put us on a cruise from Italy to Greece, Santorini, Mykonos, and up to Croatia. 550 of us. It was awesome. Every time we came back to the our bed, it was awesome. We had a trinket from LifeWave and our bed in the ship, and I think the ship had these ninjas that make your beds when you come in, bed ninjas, crazy. And then 850 of us just came back from Punta Cana, and like a 5-star resort. All of us had big master bedroom, sunken living room, and jacuzzi tubs on the balcony. And then every day you came back, there was a trinket on your bed being made from LifeWave. I mean, it was and gifts it was awesome. And then Cancun. I mean, it was just spectacular. Well, here's the next one, is Punta Mita. And a bunch of us are getting ready to go to Punta Mita. Never heard of the place, but apparently it's a 5-star, amazing place, world-renowned golf courses. I don't golf much, but we have this great resort we're going to be going to. There'll probably be 1,000 of us going to that here in April, and it's still time to earn that thing. Well, here's how this thing starts. You heard me kind of allude to it, and I'm going to go back again. It all starts with you, and you buy product, and then your friends buy product. 2 friends left, 2 friends right. And that starts the process where you hit this first position called manager, which can open you up to making up to $1,500 a week. Not right then, okay? But on the residual from a team, a left team you started, 2 people on your left, and a right team you started. And then as those people get excited, they start sharing, all that volume begins to occur underneath you, not like a pyramid. Pyramids are illegal. This is affiliate marketing. Think of Mary Kay, highly respected company worldwide. It's affiliate marketing. It works on a binary structure. It's a structure that makes it easy for people to win and gives people who you sponsor after you, they can make more money than you. And it keeps the company sound financially. There's a debt-free company, and they've grown from 20 million to over 600 million, never skipped a beat on getting us paid, never skipped a beat on getting patches out. So this structure helps to ensure a financially sound company and rewards us for those who share it, not sell it. Remember, if this product was at Walmart and on the shelf, it's not going to jump out the aisle and tell you, this is a miracle patch. There's hope in the patch. No, but your friends and family who care and love about you, or the person who invited you to the Zoom, that's who's going to tell you. And you just may, if you trust him, you may believe him, because, you know, this does sound too good to be true. And so you have to have trust in the mix to get someone to believe this and want to wear it. And that's why word of mouth is so important. And that's why trust is everything. And that's why this simple business model is so powerful, of you getting 2 friends on your left and 2 friends on your right who trust you, that you love and care about, and they get on this patch with you. So, and this structure, as you then, so you go manager, 2 left, 2 right. Well, then let's go help your friends go manager beneath you on your left and your right. And as we replicate this manager play, boom, 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 and all that volume keeps coming up, that can take you up to the cap. They have this cap at $25,000 a week. That is an insane number if you think about it, but it's doable because many people in the program have hit it. And it's funny, my wife and I actually now, and our story was within 11 months, following this system, being a newbies in this industry, not having a big team. We started with 2 on the left, 2 on the right, like many of you. Well, we start with our first phone call, first person. But within 11 months, we did hit the highest rank in this business. Now, we weren't making $25,000 a week, but we were on our way. Well, 11 months later, we were north of 20,000 a week. Here we were making $1 million a year, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now we're making 4 times what we were making running our advertising company, and now we had options. And listen, there's a 19-year-old kid in Sarasota who hit the highest rank in this company. You got an 81-year-old grandmother in Puerto Rico hit the highest rank in this company. And you got a 24-year-old kid out of college making over $1 million a year. How is that? And I'm not saying you're going to do that or not, but if I heard it and I was on the other side of the screen listening to me talking, I'm like, okay, can you show me how that gets done? You know, that's just me. Everybody's different. Listen, $200 a week right now, which is easy to pick up in this business. It's like picking up a $100 bill on the sidewalk during, you know, a couple of them during the week. It feels really good. Okay. And that's kind of what residual money's like, if I'm making sense. But the funny thing is, our best week was $34,000 a few weeks ago. And then during Christmas, it drops, comes back. We made $31,000 last week. That is insane. Well, Ken, I see it says $25,000. How did that happen? Well, right here. This is unlimited. What this is you enroll a friend. That's your first position. Your friend enrolls somebody. They call it first generation, excuse me. Your friend enrolls somebody that you may not know who the heck it is, but the computer counts it as your second generation. That second generation, somebody, whoever that is, they enroll somebody. That's your third generation. So all you did is you enrolled somebody you know, and then 2 other people after that below them came underneath you may or may not know, but it's going to be counted towards you, and you're going to get a 25% bonus, 20% bonus, 20% bonus on that first, second, third generation on whatever they're making here. So just say blue sky. They all start making $1,000 a week. Well, you're going to be getting $250, $200, $200 a week. Now, you happen to get lucky, like we've got blessed, and we have someone who hits $25,000. It's in our second generation by Wednesday, pretty much every week now. Well, that's $5,000. I don't know who that person was. Someone else knew them, and they enrolled this other person. And so the beautiful thing on word of mouth, and as this thing grows, it's going to attract people that you don't know who it's going to attract. So the upside can be amazing. And but you continue to enroll people here. And we like to encourage people, once they get their first 4, now start looking 20 left, 20 right. It's not hard. We have a system to show you how to do it without having to change your full-time job or change your date nights with your wife or time with your babies or whatever. Then, you know, you just go live your life. But we'll teach you how to share it and point people's eyeballs on Zooms like this that go on every night, and custom ones that I do too during the day, so that people can take a look. And so it takes the burn off you trying to sell something. Just gives your friends an opportunity to decide if they're 3, 2, or 1 and what they want to do. And you're going to come across enough of them that they're enough pain emotionally or physically, like, yeah, I think I'll give this safe thing a call, a purchase. So, and that's how you keep enrolling more and more people. Well, you enroll 40 people. That's like, if they each enroll one person, enrolls one person, that's like 120 people from 40, and you're getting paid on all that. So you can kind of see the unlimited potential that this thing has. And it's such a blessing. And if I've confused you, that's okay. Get back with the person who contacted you. Just think, one person, you and 2 on your left and 2 on your right. And so, and what you're going to do is you're going to buy a 3-pack, 6-pack, or 20-pack one time, right? And so, and that's what you're looking at here. A 3-pack, a 6-pack, or a 20-pack. A core pack's a 3-pack. An advanced pack's a 6-pack, and a premium is a 20-pack. What pack? What are you talking about? Well, when you say 3-pack, you're going to get 3, 6, or 20 of these. And what is this? This is what we call a sleeve. And in this sleeve here are 30 of these patches, which is a 1-month supply for one person. And so you rip this thing open, and in here are 30 patches. And so you pull it out, you peel it off and put it on you. And, 5 seconds in the morning, next to your toothbrush, slap it on, take it after dinner, throw it away, and then rinse and repeat. Do it again the next day. Well, this typically, which comes in a beautiful envelope that looks like this. So this is in here, looks like that. This typically on a retail rate is $149. And I told my dad, you don't need to pay $149. You can buy it as a brand partner, don't have to sell anything, and get it for $99 or even less. And so, and that's what you're looking at here. Matter of fact, you could come in for $25, get a membership, and then just get this thing for $99 a month. But I tell people, why do that if you're going to get a 90-day supply minimum, and you're just one of these tire kickers, just want to try it, then get the core, because that's cheaper than $99 a month, and it waives the $25 fee. So it comes out to be about $98 and change if you just take whatever, 3 divided by 295. But we encourage everybody, if they can, get the premium pack. Why? Because if you got a family and you're going to wear it 1 month for every 10 years of life, then you want to make sure you got enough for your family to do that with. And that's going to give you enough left over. Now, you can never purchase these packs again. You can only purchase them one time. And if you purchase the 6-pack or the 20-pack, that opens you up to all the ways the company pays. The 3-pack limits you to $100 a week. That's still not bad, but that you're not going to get to 25,000, nor are you going to get that unlimited potential on the 3-pack. And also, you have to be on if you're going to build the business is built on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance program. So after you buy a 6 or 20-pack, if you're going to build the business, you got to be on a 6 or 20-pack. Then you go on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance. So right now, for me and my wife to making 7 figures, I purchased one of these for me and one of these for my wife, and that's it each month. That's my overhead. That is insane as a business owner. I'm thinking, you know how much money you got to spend to buy a franchise and the investment? Sometimes you're borrowing money against your house, and you got employees, you got overhead, you got franchise fees. And you're not gonna you're not gonna make $1 million a year on a franchise. I'm sorry, it's not easy. It's a hard business. But all I got is 2 of these every month, and all I had to do is come in one time and buy a 6 or 20-pack, and I'm in. And now I just go on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance. And oh, by the way, you buy that 20-pack, they actually give you an additional break. You can push your 2-sleeve monthly maintenance out 90 days. So next month and the following month, you're gonna save $199, $199, and so that's $400 you're going to save over the next couple of months. And then you'll start your 90 days out, you'll start your monthly subscription. So why would you get a 20-pack? Well, what we do is we do a place and replace program. If you're going to get in this and share this with family and friends, then it's important that you help get them started right away. So when they place an order, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 days before they get this in the mail. But if you have extra, you can front them a sleeve, place it with them. Then when they get theirs in the mail, they can give you back a whole one back, but continue to use the one that you fronted them. So a few months back, we were at church, we enrolled somebody, they bought a 20-pack after church. And I went to my car and I fronted them one of these sleeves. I said, listen, you guys can get on this now. And well, the next morning, they called me and said, Ken, we haven't slept this good in years. 2 days later, Tuesday, Joe calls me, Ken, I've seen 4 chiropractors in 10 years and none of them helped me feel this good. And we're calling all our family and friends to tell them about the patches. They still hadn't had theirs in the mailbox yet, but because I fronted them one, it collapsed time, redeemed time, and got them in the mix to be able to get the miracles going and get them calling their family and friends. And then when they got theirs in the next week, they replaced mine, a whole one back to me. And so I had enough to do that with. But if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to be in that position. But if you can't afford a $17.50 plus shipping and tax initially and 110, that's a one-time purchase. You'll never do that again. Then get the 6-pack, and it's only $5.35, gets it down to $89 a sleeve. Gives you one for you, one for a plus one, your spouse, and then gives you 4 of these that you can start to get in place with. You can also open them up. And what I do is I like sharing one pass with people. I don't share 3, 4, 5 any longer because, like myself, 2.5 weeks, my wife 3 weeks. So I share one with everybody because 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 people are usually a one-pass wonder. You know, and that's why I tell people, hey, listen, 90 days is the minimum you want to wear this thing. And I'll share one with you now because you may be a one-pass wonder. Would you like to wear one? And those people are usually interested. They'll usually watch the Zoom. So when I call them back up, they can give me feedback on what they want to do. So it's been a really wonderful way for me just to share one. And then we had the one-pass wonders. We did a party for somebody the other day. And out of 8 couples who showed up, 6 of them signed up. And one of the women, 70 years of age, she had frozen shoulder for a long time. And by in 30 minutes, she goes, look at this. One-pass wonder. Alrighty. So I'm hoping it makes some sense to you. Now you can go if you're going to, I want to share some with you also, if I haven't totally confused you yet, that when you start off and you start 2 people left, 2 people right, well, you got put on someone's left or right team. Well, that means you have people above you. Well, guess what? They're putting people below you because that's how the computer makes it work. Not a pyramid, once again, it's a binary. Well, all those people count towards you. So one side of yours obviously is going to be growing much bigger than the other side you're starting. And as long as you have 1 sleeve monthly maintenance, you're going to be able to hold all that volume and have it banked, waiting for you every month until you're ready to upgrade to 2 sleeve monthly maintenance. And because once you do that, then all that banked volume begins to release towards you and it doesn't flush. Otherwise, it flushes every month. So it's important that you get on at least a 1 sleeve monthly subscription. If you're tire kicking it, get a 3-pack. But if you're serious about helping people, helping your family, understanding it's just 4 good conversations to get this thing started, then get a 6-pack or 20-pack, get on the 2 sleeve monthly maintenance, make the phone calls to people you love and care about. If you're believing this right now, if you're a 1 or if you're a 2, get the advanced kit. So at least if you and your spouse have at least a 6-pack, or get the 20-pack so your family can try this out. And, and if you're just going to, kick the tires, see if it's going to work for just you. You don't have a spouse, or you got a spouse, but you don't care if they're going to suffer while you don't. Just kidding. Then the 3-pack. So I hope that makes some sense to you there. And once again, you're part of a team. Once you make a purchase, whether you're just trying it, you're now part of our team. And so we have I'll share one point as we wrap this up here at 9 o'clock, is that we were making about $1,000 a week, 90 days in. And then we had this big event that you saw earlier with all those people. And we have another one of these coming up. We do 2 a year. Well, I had about 60 people come to that. And I only invited a few, and then some of those few invited a few and whatever. Next thing you know, 60 people went to that event. Well, I went from 1,000 a week to 1,000 a day because of an event like this. And I love Tony Robbins. I used to take 15 people to go see him. We'd all walk on hot coals, and we'd all be excited. But 3 months later, we're kind of back in motion where we were before. You go to an event like this, you come out excited, enrolling more people. Well, if you had 10 more people like yourself, then that means you have a whole lot more productivity in the business, and your team just grows even faster. And that's what we saw. And so these events, this business is built from event to event. There's only 2 a year. The next one's in August, and you sign up for that. So, alrighty. And we do have Zooms that go on basically every night and during the day. And we have Spanish speaking Zooms on Thursdays. And we got Zooms for people in England that go on at 3 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time here, and just Zooms. So you learn to contact, invite, and point eyeballs to Zooms. That's going to be the lion's share of how you share this opportunity. But the most important is get your first 4 people that you love and care about with you first. Go manager. So this friend of ours, they threw a party. Well, guess what? They had a manager making party because they went manager after their party. Just by one party, by inviting people to come over, see this presentation, hear the testimonies with trusted friends. Boom, they went manager. Right? Plus, I think they made almost $700 out of that party just from people enrolling on these bonuses you get. We didn't even talk about that. All right. So once again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to share this amazing opportunity with you tonight. Definitely get back with the person who invited you to help explain or help you. And remember, if you're a 3, go ahead and we can look at that visitinfolink.com. You'll see all the research you need to. Or if you're a 2, get back to the person who invited you and get these patches of hope on the people you love and care about. And if you're 1, we're going to help you go get your first 4 and get you plugged in from there. So it's been an honor and a blessing to be with you tonight. And hopefully see you again on the next Zoom with maybe more people you contact and invite so we can help you get the hope of this patch on the people you love and care about too. Well, good night, everybody, and it's been a blessing. Good evening.